I want to talk about something that I want to be very transparent with Vibes Only listeners. We had this on our list to talk about a couple of weeks ago, and I actually killed it. I pulled a Donald Trump and I killed the story because I did not think that we had an effective frame for this story, which is the Minnesota fraud story.
Yeah.
Which at the time, it was a clear vulnerability for Governor Tim Walz. And I didn't have a way to frame it that I felt was productive. I think like two things can be true. I think that the Democratic Party can be the party that is pro-immigrant and pro-social services and pro like economic dignity for all and still be victim to mass fraud, which is what happened in Minnesota. So cut to late December, a smaller conservative YouTube creator, Nick Shirley, 23 years old. He had about 300,000 followers, which is not nothing on YouTube. He saw the opportunity here to really run with a story and started doing on the street interviews of where some of these daycare centers were or different childcare centers were that these Somali citizens of Minnesota had set up. And it went very, very viral. And cut to 2 weeks later, he has 1.5 million subs on YouTube, and Governor Walz is saying he's no longer seeking re-election.
Yeah, it's a major political shakeup in Minnesota, and we can talk about what that's going to do to the gubernatorial and U.S. Senate races, plural, happening there. For me, the really big story is that the Trump administration watched a 23-year-old's YouTube video and cut tens of billions of dollars of childcare funding, no questions asked, right? That this administration is so trigger happy to kill every program that's been built since FDR that they will use any excuse to just gut, fire, destroy, and burn all of the programs that we pay for with our tax dollars. And they're not giving that money back. And so, yes, like, let's talk about the fraud. I'm not trying to deflect. Fraud is always going to be a serious problem and something that needs to be focused on when you're dealing with the size of budgets that states and the federal government are. But a random YouTuber not being allowed in to visit a bunch of kids is not a reason to take childcare away from working parents.
I'll also go a little step further here, where I think this was a deeply coordinated attack against the state of Minnesota and Governor Walz specifically. I think that someone in the MAGA conservative media ecosystem machine saw what Shirley was doing, if what was not coordinating directly with him, and then an entire ecosystem of conservative creators, MAGA creators, conveniently had clips ready to push out all at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, their infrastructure is next level.
Their infrastructure is next level. We talk about this a lot. The Democratic space needs much, much, much more investment there and coordination.
Did you see the Kyle Wilson Tharp piece on Republican media?
Yeah. Kyle Tharp is a strategist in our space. He studies how money is being spent in the new media landscape, amongst many other things. He has a really great newsletter, Chaotic Era, and you should sub. But he sent one out this week that looked at C3 investment into new media arms for conservative ideologies and movement.
$260 million flowed in 2024 into right-wing media. That's crazy. We have no parallel to that whatsoever on the left.
I'm trying. If any of my pitches are on your desk, give it a look.
Cut that check.